The distress signal had been broadcasting for 72 hours before anyone noticed. In the vast emptiness between the Orion Spur and the Sagittarius Arm, such oversight was understandable. What was less understandable was why the signal emanated from a region explicitly marked as quarantined space, the domain of Earth, the infamous death world whose inhabitants had been carefully contained for 3 centuries. Danny Chen stood on the bridge of the Retribution, her fingers dancing across holographic displays as she cross-referenced the signal's origin point. Her dark eyes narrowed as the data compiled. "It's definitely coming from the Kessler station," she said, her voice tight. "The research outpost the collective established to study our primitive aggression." Jasper Morrison looked up from the weapons console, his jaw clenched. "Those bastards. They promised they'd shut that facility down after the treaty. They lied." Danny pulled up the distress message, and an alien voice filled the bridge, high-pitched, trembling with terror. The translation matrix rendered it in standard English. "This is Administrator Quelix of Kessler Station. We are under attack by test subjects. Containment breach in Sector 7, multiple casualties. The humans they've organized. They've learned our systems. Please, anyone, we need immediate." The message ended in a scream. For a moment, silence dominated the bridge. Then Jasper spoke, his voice barely above a whisper. They were still holding humans there, experimenting on them. Danny's hands had already moved to the navigation controls. "Set course for Kessler Station. Maximum burn." "Danny, we're in quarantine zone. Patrol. We don't have authorization to. Those are our people." She cut him off, her tone brooking no argument. "I don't care what the Galactic Collective says. We're going." Jasper nodded slowly, then a grim smile crossed his face. "The Collective is about to remember why they quarantined Earth in the first place." The Retribution dropped out of faster-than-light travel 30 minutes later. Kessler Station hung in the void like a metallic flower, its petals now scorched and venting atmosphere from a dozen breaches. No other ships had responded to the distress call. The Collective had abandoned their researchers to their fate. "Life signs?" Danny asked. Jasper's fingers flew across his console. 23 collective species signatures, scattered throughout the station, and ... He paused, his eyes widening. 67 human signatures. They're all grouped together in the central hub. The humans took control of the station. Danny felt a savage pride surge through her chest. Whoever these prisoners were, they'd done what the Collective thought impossible. They'd turned captivity into revolution. "I'm receiving a transmission," Jasper said. "Audio only, human origin." "Put it through." A man's voice filled the bridge, rough and ragged but unmistakably in command. "Unknown vessel. This is Marcus Webb of Earth. We've secured Kessler Station. The alien scientists who held us are alive but detained. We request immediate extraction and asylum under the Earth Accord of 2287. Danny activated the communication channel. "Marcus Webb, this is Captain Danny Chen of the Terran Defense Force vessel Retribution. Extraction authorized. Stand by for docking procedures." "Captain." Marcus's voice cracked slightly, and Danny heard what might have been a suppressed sob. "Are we really going home?" "You're really going home," she confirmed. "All of you." "How long have you been held?" "Some of us, 15 years. They took us from colony ships, frontier outposts. Told the Collective we were volunteers for cultural exchange." The bitterness in his voice could have etched steel. "They wanted to understand what made humans so dangerous, so they poked and prodded and tested our limits. They found out, all right." Jasper brought the Retribution alongside the station's docking port with practiced precision. As the airlocks cycled, Danny stood at the hatch, her hand resting on her sidearm, not from fear of the freed prisoners, but from anticipation of what she might do if she encountered their captors. The hatch opened. The first person through was Marcus Webb, gaunt, scarred, with eyes that had seen too much. Behind him came 66 others, in various states of injury and exhaustion, but every single one of them walked with their heads high, unbroken. "Captain Chen," Marcus saluted sloppily, "we have 23 prisoners aboard the station. What are your orders?" Danny considered for a moment. The Galactic Collective had rules, laws, procedures for this sort of thing, but the Collective had also violated their own treaties, kidnapping and torturing human beings for research purposes. "Bring them aboard," she said finally. "They'll face trial on Earth under human law." Marcus's expression hardened into something predatory. "Human law. I like the sound of that." As the freed prisoners filed aboard the Retribution, Danny watched the fear in their eyes gradually transform into something else: hope, relief, and a burning desire for justice. Jasper moved among them, directing them to medical bay. offering water and rations. The alien researchers were brought aboard in restraints, their multiple eyes wide with terror. They chittered and clicked in their various languages, begging for mercy, for collective intervention. The collective abandoned you, Danny told them coldly, just like you abandoned these people to suffer. But unlike you, we don't believe in torture. You'll get a fair trial, and then you'll spend the rest of your lives in a human prison, learning exactly what it means to be at the mercy of Deathworlders. One of the aliens' administrator, Quelix himself, Danny recognized from the distress call, began to weep. We were only following orders. The collective council authorized the research. We thought humans were too primitive to what? Marcus stepped forward, his voice dangerously soft. To remember, to plan, to work together. You thought we were animals. You learned different. Danny placed a hand on Marcus's shoulder, gently pulling him back. We're better than them, she said quietly. We proved that by not becoming them. She turned to Jasper. Set course for Earth and send a message to Collective High Command. Tell them the quarantine is over. Tell them that humanity is coming to the table, and we're bringing charges. A lot of charges. Jasper grinned fiercely. With pleasure, Captain. As the Retribution turned toward home, carrying its cargo of freed prisoners and captured war criminals, Danny looked out at the stars. The Collective had spent centuries trying to keep humanity contained, afraid of what would happen if the Deathworlders ever united with a common purpose. They were about to find out. The age of humanity's isolation was over. The age of accountability had begun.